Why did the 3 doctors I saw the first time write me off and say, we don't know why you have chronic pancreatitis? Are they stupid? Did they not take time to Google? Are they lazy? Anywhere you better become up to me. So, this is actually a really great question from this multi-orgasmic cum dump, as she refers to herself. Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate the emails. They're so good today. You wait for these. They are good ones. drafterdark@gmail.com. And of course, the voice messages, which are always good. 818-253-1693. And we're back with the Booth Boys today, where it's a much-needed sort of break in our pattern. And we've all built up to today's show. We've all been sort of storing up for this one. And I don't know about Annie, but Nadav, anyways, has. He's like been addled talking to me. Like he's so excited he can't even get his shit together today, right? Is that your excuse, or what is your excuse?
Yes, I can barely contain my excitement.
I figured that was your excitement. Yeah. Well, we're going to do a test today on Nadav. It turns out. Annie, would you participate in this as well?
Depends what the test is.
It's not going to be as revealing as some of the stuff you've done. Well, it might be. It might feel that way, but I don't think.
Sounds like
I don't
a
think
lie.
No, I don't think you would find it as revealing as the stuff you've done. I really think you've done harder. What? Are we starting wrong today? Nadav's already holding his head.
No, I'm just saying that the thing you sent me is called an Aspie quiz, which I feel like is that what you call it?
I just said autism. That was the title I sent you.
Oh, is Aspie the name of the doctor?
It might be the name of the. It might be somebody might have titled the document that way.
Got it.
That was not me. That was.
I
not
thought
me.
it was just like, oh yeah, these Aspies over here.
No. I look at it. I look at it all as autistic spectrum. We don't even use the term Asperger's anymore. It's autistic spectrum. It's non-neurotypical, which is a good thing, right? You don't want to be neurotypical. It's just that's boring. What's the matter, Andy? What have I done now? Have I already ruined something?
No, I'm just doing something that you're not supposed to be looking at because you're looking at
I
the
won't look
control
at
room
that.
too much. All right, cool.
All right, so appreciate you guys being here. Again, do send us any suggestions you have, any on these emails and things you get there, people you want me to interview, people you think we might enjoy having on the show. Please do give us those suggestions. We'd love to hear about it. And today sit back and enjoy Drew and the Booth Boys. This should be interesting. I think I want to start with a couple of emails, if you don't mind. Actually, before we do the emails, as the mics were heating up here, and he made a comment about Nadav getting his eyes boiled. And I said, well, hold that thought. What is that all about?
So I've been going to, I've been working out at the Onnit gym a little bit. It's, I'm getting a little bit of work done, but whenever.
What are you doing if you work out? It's not a hard question. It's just a simple question. What are you doing? There's a big sigh.
I'm trying to run through all the things. It's a lot of stuff.
Okay, okay, good.
Mainly lifting stuff.
Like what? Pray tell.
No, it's we're doing kettlebell circuits. We're doing battle ropes.
You have a trainer?
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm doing some one-on-one
And you still
stuff.
sticking to the diet?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing for diet?
Paleo and restrictive eating.
Yes, look at you.
Yeah.
And he's like giving me a knowing nod, like he's doing it.
Putting in the work, but then there's a couple other things where it's just like I'm learning how stupid my body is because it's been sedentary for 30 plus years.
It's fighting you?
Well, at first I was just like, oh yeah, my back just gets thrown out sometimes. I don't know why, but now it's just like, oh, anytime I deadlift, my back gets thrown out within 2 days.
Not only deadlift, I'm guessing your core work has not been great in the last 30 years.
Anytime I do any type of hip hinges and stuff that, but it's it just makes it so that I can't work out for a couple weeks to a month. So now I'm seeing a physical therapist to just try and strengthen the muscles around the things.
Good, because it's all muscular, it's all soft tissue.
Yeah,
for sure. Good for you. You're an example, man. What led to that moment of change? It's the stuff that really interests me. You 30 years of one thing, and all of a sudden I'm gonna do something different. People giving you enough shit here. Somebody offer you some money. What was that moment of change?
It's funny. Someone offered me some money, and then they just kind of never really brought it up again.
Was that me? No, you said
I'll take your money.
Tom or Bert? Who was it? Which one?
It was both. Bert said $1 million.
Oh.
And then they peeled it back to an amount.
They'll take you out to steak dinner. If you lose.
Fancy dinners are nice.
Is there a goal amount we're losing?
Yeah, so I started at the fattest I've ever been at my vaccine weight, which was 275. And now I'm like in the upper mid 240s. So like I've lost a little bit of weight since the beginning of the year.
But you've done it properly. You've done it the right way.
Yeah, and I've been going to a doctor throughout all times, and she's taking blood tests and stuff.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to not have to like take medicine
Does it feel
for the
good?
rest of my life. Feels great.
What medicine are you taking? Blood pressure?
No. To avoid taking. We're just like, oh, you did this so fast, so quick, so stupid.
Oh, no.
You now need to like triglycerides or whatever, crazy stuff.
And it feels good, right?
To be less fat, definitely.
Yeah, and to be taking care of things. And do you enjoy working out?
Yeah, I mean, I love deadlifting until I connected the dots that's what was throwing out my back.
You love deadlifting. That's interesting.
Yeah, like farmer carries, anything that like puts hair on your chest. I really like that shit.
Oh, well, they should still find a way to do more of that. The most important exercise is the exercise you'll do.
Right.
And the exercise you will do is the exercise you enjoy doing. And find ways to make it more and more enjoyable for yourself. Like for me, I find I do these little sort of circuits. I sort of pile one exercise on another just to get it done. But I listen to stuff. I listen to podcasts. I study languages. I do stuff. So I feel like I'm almost meditative when I'm doing it.
Oh, right. But then that reminds me why we even got to this is bringing it back to boiling the eyes.
Yes.
So I realized too, because whenever like my back would get aggravated, my trainer was like, "Oh, meet me at Kuya," which is this sauna / polar plunge / isolation tank. Like they do all sorts of cool stuff.
Wow, where's that? That downtown?
It's right across from Onnit. It's yeah, dude.
Onnit,
dude.
Onnit has a place here.
Yeah.
Oh, is it the gym?
It's the Onnit gym.
Oh my God! Do you know how much Onnit peanut butter I eat per week?
No, yeah, I think
the nut butter, the fat butter.
Mm-hmm. No, you love that shit.
Love that shit.
Yeah, if you want, we could swing by after this. We'll get a workout in on it. Well, actually, no, I can't today. But maybe one of these times we go and we do a session over at Kuya, because whenever I go in there, like it's first of all, it reduces all inflammation. So anything that might feel like with my back tingling, like it brings the pain down from, let's call it a 4, it brings it down to a 1, like a lot more manageable. But whenever I leave there, my eyes are kind of blurry for the rest of the day. And I could only imagine that's because I'm just slowly boiling my eyes.
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Then why are my eyes so blurry?
I don't know. I wonder if you're dropping your pressure or something. Why they're blurry the rest of the day?
Yeah, maybe it's just like, oh, you're so relaxed.
No.
We don't need to see you for the rest of the day.
Is it close vision or far vision or both?
Just completely blurry.
Blurry?
Yeah.
Huh. Have you talked to your doctor about that?
Nah.
Have your sugars ever been up?
Sugar.
Blood sugar.
I don't think that's ever been an issue.
Yeah. And blood pressure ever down?
Blood pressure is weird. I've noticed that sometimes I get dizzy if.
Yeah, it sounds more like that kind of thing.
But then it's just down for the rest of the day.
Could be. It sounds a little weird. Well, we'll.
And it's 0% possible that I that I boiled my eyes.
You could boil your eyes, but it wouldn't cause blurry vision. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what would it cause?
Blindness,
right? Of course, right.
So and pain, a lot of pain, like really serious pain.
No, yeah, this is a good kind.
All right, let's get to this. Let's get the show going. But thank you for the update. I appreciate that. I'm inspired. Dr. Hitler's and Booth Jays? Booth Jays?
Yeah, short for Jews.
Oh, Jesus. Again, Annie has these really knowing nods today. That's what I'm talking about. Like you're thrown in the J camp too. What is that all about? As far as I know, there's one J in there. Is there two?
No, it's sometimes Zola's in here.
Okay. All right. My name is Rob, Pasadena. Is there any correlation between sexual repression leading to more extreme sexual kinks? I grew up very sexually repressed due to a variety of factors, parents' religion, societal norms. Because of this, I kept my sexuality bottled up for all my formative years, wasn't active until 24. I jade my D plenty of years, but felt very guilty and ashamed of what, I seem to get into more and more kinky porn as I grew older. Today, I feel I am into some pretty pervy stuff. I can't help but think that bottling everything up for so long led to my being into some pervy sexual kinks. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Touch my camera through the fence. Ta-ta, there, R-word. Thank you, Rob. Well done. So I think more in terms of trauma or extreme experiences causing kink. And so I don't think of it as sort of the repression itself causing the kink, but the fact that it was so overwhelming to you to try to deal with sexual feelings and thoughts because there was all this shit bearing down on you. So it makes sense to me that the more traumatic, the more arousing. And then as you sort of become freed up, on the day of access to all this pornography and stuff, of course you just start going down that path. And then you can get, if you're prone to porn addiction, that to me seems like a great way to get some addiction going. Even if you're not prone to porn addiction, you could sort of, because it has a trauma base to it, you could keep getting into more and more intense material. So, dude, Rob, my advice to you would be to have a relationship with somebody and start dealing in the world and start, if you can't get your hands on this is a great time for therapy because it will help you regulate all that and sort of, you can take it outside of, be not so ashamed and guilty about it and have somebody sort of in a non-judgmental way evaluate it with you. Dude, interesting. When I white, I yellow. I'm 26-year-old. I have a problem since I reached puberty. I go a long time without masturbating, which I do I don't run into that many religious people these days, but they all seem to watch After Dark in your mom's house, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a Christian show.
But there is stuff. I do have a feeling. I said like 5 years ago, I feel like America's due for a great awakening, that there'll be a sweep into more religion soon. So I'm surprised that this is being told to us from people that had it happen to them 10 years ago, but interesting. Okay. So after a typical round of urination, my body sometimes sends out a bit of semen. It's not the full load, and although it's mixed with urine, it feels as though it's coming from the typical semen place. Almost everything I read and everyone I talked to says it's impossible, that never happened to me. Am I a medical anomaly or just plain old cancer? You bet I'm coming to May. My friend, it is not cancer. You guys have heard me answer this before on this show, right? Here's what he doesn't give us his name, but you need to watch more After Dark. You'll learn by watching After Dark, right? You've heard me talk about this before, right? It's not just me thinking that, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would I say this was? There's three things. Oh boy, you guys need to listen to me more too. So
sorry, we were dealing with something in here.
Okay, good. So one is first of all, the prostate, in addition to creating semen, creates a bunch of material and lubricants for the urethra, which starts way up inside your body, gets through your pelvic floor and out to your tip of your penis. And the prostate is producing a bunch of fluids that lubricate the urethra, which starts way up inside your body, goes through the pelvic floor, out to the tip of the penis. And not only is it a lubricant, it's also an immunologically active material to keep infection from going up. So there is just some people produce more of that than others. You're sort of have a weepy penis, as a weepy prostate, as opposed to one that is sort of more has a tight gasket, as we say.
A weepy penis.
Yeah, weepy penis versus tight gasket.
Is that a medical term?
These are all medical
penis?
terms. Tight gaskets, all these things are very, very medical. And so that's one possibility. Next possibility is because you're masturbating so little, you get a little overflow from the seminal vesicles. So the seminal vesicles are the let's show me the seminal vesicles since I have to review everything with everybody. Prostate and seminal vesicles, please. Prostate and seminal vesicles. Prostate produces the fluid. Seminal vesicles save it and mix it with the sperm. Sperm is sort of dripping in. Are located there. There you are. There they are, right there on the left. Second one in. That one. So there they are. They're sitting on top of the prostate, and you see how they just sit there, and the vas deferens drip into them and mix with the prostatic fluid, which is sort of stored there.
Oh yeah.
And that's where it all comes out. And they can get full. Now go back to that first one. Now you see how the whole thing sets against the rectum, right? Yeah, right. There you go. See the set? Right. And so go to my left a little bit. No, a little bit, a little more. And then go down a little bit. All right, right there. Seminal vesicle. Wait, up again a little bit. Up a little. There you are. So you're against the seminal vesicle there. And the seminal vesicles, you see that's right against the rectum. If somebody has a big bowel movement, they can push on the seminal vesicles and the prostate and maybe push out a little fluid. So that's another way to do it. Is you have a large bowel movement, people will say, I'm having a big bowel movement. I think I came. No, you just kind of massage the prostate essentially. So and you guys will remember this now. You will not forget it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, very good. One more email, and then we'll do some voice messages. Ethan from Louisiana. Ever since I was 9, while showering, if the shower water would hit my penis in a certain way, it always gave me a very close to orgasm feeling. I never make white, but it sends the best feeling through my body and accomplishes and is accompanied by pee. What the hell is happening? Well, when you're young, particularly, the tip of the penis can be a source of all kinds of tingly feelings that sort of are, some people may actually create an actual orgasm type experience, so that's unusual. You'll hear something similar from women that will say that I was 10 and I was, leaning up against a, washing machine on the spin cycle, and all of a sudden I had something like an orgasm. This system is ready to go, right? Even though you haven't had puberty yet, it just sort of isn't really fully engaged yet until you hit puberty at 12, 13. So it's just one of those things. People get a lot of tingly feelings at the tip. Voice messages, my friend. Let's do this.
All right. Voice messages. Let's go ahead and go with this lane.
Yeah.
Hey there. This is Aaron from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I just had a quick question about farts. So, sometimes when you fart, and it's usually like that one sharp one that doesn't even really make a sound, but it really fucking hurts. You know what I'm talking about? I hope I'm not the only person that experiences this, but if you can give me some insight into why that is, that would solve a great mystery of my life. Ta-ta there, retards.
What a great intellect on display here from Lake Havasu. Did you understand what he was asking? I didn't really even get it.
I think it's weird. I think he was just like, hey, why would my farts hurt?
But it's a first fart or something, right? Didn't he say like the initial fart? Look, you can get all kinds of funny, visceral, crampy feelings for all kinds of reasons in that area. Farting and having gas in the area, having sort of certain kinds of, should we put up the stool spectrum again? The stool scale.
Bristol stool chart?
Bristol stool chart actually came up for me personally when I went to see a doctor.
What was that you said?
The Bristol stool chart? Yes.
Yeah, cool.
It actually came up for me personally when I was visiting a surgeon because I have diverticulitis and I get uncomfortable, weird feelings and stuff. There you are. Oh my God. You guys really enlightened me on this one. So, the surgeon was very much trying to get me into like type 3. He thought type 3 was sort of optimal there, or maybe type 2.
4s and 5s are the...
4 he felt was might be a little too soft. So it's sort of between 3 and 4, I think, is where he was sort of urging me to be. And it was interesting how he described it. I thought, oh, you're talking about the Bristol stool chart. Well done, my friend. And it turns out that rectal pressures are actually an important thing that surgeons have to pay a lot of attention to. It's not my field, so it's something I've not paid a lot of attention to. And I thank the Booth boys for enlightening me on the stool chart. Thank you for that, gentlemen.
You are welcome.
That's how ignorant I am. We all have our own source of ignorance, and the stool chart happened to be my blind spot. But if you're outside of the sort of normal range of solid, it can cause a lot of crampy feelings down there. And if gas only exacerbates all that. Now, whether that is diverticulitis like it is in my case, whether it is fistulas or hemorrhoids or various kinds of colitis, like just local colitis or ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, all these things inflammatory bowel diseases can figure into this, but gas, it can make the crampiness kind of worse. And in this guy's case, for whatever reason, the first one is the one that gives him his little visceral feeling. So there you go. It's just one of those things. It's just how we're constructed. And when you think about it, think deeply about it. Imagine you're a surgeon and you have to repair that area and also maintain that function. You have to think about things pretty carefully. All that nervous input into the area, all the vascular elements that are necessary for the peristalsis to work.
It's a lot of variables.
It's a lot of stuff going on. So there you go.
Man, you got to be pretty smart to be a butt doctor, huh?
You have to be a butt doctor, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Colorectal surgery is intense shit. There's a lot of stuff going on down there. And it's funny, I talked to where was I? I was at an airport or something, and I talked to a physician assistant. She goes, I love assisting on those surgeries in the colorectal. The anatomy is so fascinating. I thought, I guess for some people, yeah, not for me. Anyway, what's up? Voicemail. Voice message. For all of your summer travels, whether you're going abroad or staying domestic, you want to immerse yourself in the culture. And now is the perfect time to start Babel. You know I'm a strong believer in learning the language when you go visit another culture. we are going to Portugal in a very short period of time here. And Susan is deep into the Babel Portuguese. Babel, of course, is the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babel's addictively fun, easy, bite-sized language lessons, there is still time to learn a new language before you get to your destination. Even if it's just a week or two, just to get some familiarity is very helpful. The Babel lessons are extremely effective and fun, and as Susan said, but Portuguese is hard. I love Babel. We all use it a few times a week to try to stay up on our languages. With Babel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real-life conversation in a new language in as little as 3 weeks, and I can attest to that. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plan, but Babel lessons were created by over 150 language experts. Their teaching methods have been successfully proven to be effective. And with Babel, you can choose from over 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, German, and Portuguese in our case. Plus, Babel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. It's a big important asset in Babel. There's so many ways to learn with Babel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, even live classes. It comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language journey today with Babel. And right now you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Drew. That is BABBEL.com/Drew, D-R-E-W, for up to 60% off your subscription. Babel, language for life.
Hey, Dr. Mommy and the Booth Boys.
Hey, man.
So everyone knows that when you get hit in the balls, sometimes you get like a stomach ache.
Mm-hmm.
But since I can remember, the opposite happens to me. And then I'll have a stomach ache from having to take a huge shit, diarrhea, massive explosion, what have you.
Keep going.
And it feels like someone has my balls in like a vice. Everyone I ask, like all dudes I ask, no one's ever like heard of this like ever. So I was just wondering if, you know, I should be concerned. Maybe I have like too much pee in my balls or something. Anyway, thank you. That's where it fits. Bye.
I hope he said that just to fuck with me. I really do. I really hope your understanding of the anatomy is not that, shall we say, piss poor. Yeah, I just talked about the anatomy of that area, and the visceral tissue planes all kind of connect up together in that region in certain ways, and certainly the nervous tissue is sort of, there's a lot of common sort of roots to these things. And yeah, it's not uncommon for people to actually, if they have spasm of that area, it's called tenesmus, and they get sort of spasm of the pelvic floor muscles, which can get involved with all that. Yeah, testicular pain is not that uncommon, and it will feel visceral, much like when you've been kicked in the balls. So that's not that unusual. So even though he's interviewed all his friends and none of them have it, it's not that unusual.
Actually, I had something happen to me within the last week or two that I feel like is cause for concern, but the pain went away. So I'm almost afraid to ask you.
Oh, please do.
I felt like I had a pee coming on.
Yeah.
And so I went to the bathroom and then I,
nothing.
Do what I normally do and nothing.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, maybe let me just push a little bit. And I pushed probably a little harder than I wanted to.
And you got pain.
Stomach ache for like a day or two.
Ooh, day or two. Well, don't worry about the stomach ache. That's a nothing. Because that's you did that by pushing. The problem is though, you can irritate your prostate lifting weights. That is actually irritating to the prostate. Are you breathing properly when you lift?
Well, I lift with my hands.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand you don't use your penis or your prostate when you lift weights. But Valsalva bearing down is actually irritating to the prostate. And I remember when I was younger and I used to use very heavy weights, I would get shit like that all the time.
Is that why you wear the weightlifting belt?
No, the belt is really for your back, but it's also
like something like push against though, right?
Yeah, but it won't help your prostate. Breathing helps your prostate.
Okay.
Are you breathing properly when you're lifting?
Yeah, it's like you.
Is your trainer on you about that?
Yeah, you flex the core and breathe through the flex and all that. And
yeah, so tell him you might be having some consequence. It's the Valsalva. It's the bearing down that causes the.
It happened one time.
I understand.
Last week. I've been working out with him for like 6 months.
I understand. It's all good. It tells me you're doing a lot of hard work, right? But it might get worse, and it's no big deal. You can get prostatitis ultimately, and that's a little more of a deal. And this might be a sign that that's coming on, but nah, it's just one of them things. And later on, when you're older, it might mean you have kind of a big prostate and maybe more ejaculation. You can really work on that, clearing the pipes.
So I should come more, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Too much cum in those balls, bro.
Too much pee in them balls.
I feel like I'm already doing maximum output, but I mean, if the doctor says I should be,
That's
taking
what
it
I'm
up
saying.
to 5-6 a day.
I'm more interested in Annie right now. He looks like a statue today. Are you okay? Is everything cool?
I'm all good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Your sort of your stoicism is like at an all-time high for me.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Is that good? Is that where you're at right now?
I mean, if you see that, I suppose, yeah.
Is everything going well? You don't have to divulge anything. I'm not going to keep going. I'm just making sure you're okay. Is there anything changing in your life?
Yeah, a few things, but all in very
good
positive ways.
Good.
Yeah, I feel very actually balanced recently.
Good for you. And moving your bowels a little more frequently, or
I've been smoking weed a little more, so yeah.
That makes you move your bowels more.
I told you last time, yeah.
Oh, I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
And is that because maybe it's they relax the smooth muscle and stuff? That might be that, but it also might be reduces your fear when you go into the toilet. Maybe.
I think it's just that I am not. I mean, I think I've come to understand that OCD affects me a lot more than I realized. And there's a sense of like everything being correct, I think, and not shitting is one of those things. Eating the way I do is one of those things. Yep. It's a very just like correctness.
Yes.
Smoking weed and having a more balanced life in general has just kind of taken me away from that shit.
You've moved away from your bespokeness.
Is that what that is?
Everything's bespoked with Mr. Annie.
Bespoked.
Yeah, that word went over my head as well.
We used to do a bespoke post.
Yeah, bespoke
thing.
post.
Remember
Right,
them?
I know bespoke post.
Bespoke means just so. Just generated just so. It's just so.
Oh, right, like custom
Yeah,
fit.
custom fit.
tailored,
Custom
I
made.
remember.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, I don't know, like cool belts and shit.
Yeah, just some.
It's like, yeah, man, people bespoken about these bosses that we have.
Bespoke, yo. They bespoke as fuck. Like, I don't know.
We bespoke.
Oh, we're going to send bespoke post a bill for this.
I love it. Okay, so we're talking about everybody's sort of constitutional features. I think I'm sure I've shared many times on this show that I'm OCD and I have this OCD quality that makes me more anxious. So OCD can have anxiety. Do you have anxiety? And you don't experience it as an anxiety person.
Me?
Yeah.
You
have fear, but not anxiety, really, do you?
Not consistently, no.
Yeah, I don't experience you that way. I have that. And so anxiety kind of has two sort of versions. There's anxiety that brings on depression. Anxiety is almost a mood state. And then there's anxiety that comes from depression and OCD that tends to be in that category. And it's more of an agitated kind of an anxiety. It's more leads to me, this other category is sort of more associated with panic, which I also had when I was younger, was panic disorder, which was good times. And I was depressed at the time, but I didn't realize it. One of the things about being a young adult is you're not really realizing oftentimes the state you're in. You're just in that state, and you can't be very objective about it. That's part of the young male brain in particular. But one of the things in terms of being objective about, we wondered, was whether Nadav had any sort of quirks or qualities that we might be able to objectively evaluate. And, early on, the idea of autistic spectrum came up. Where did that come up? Was that Annie calling you that? Was
it came up with me fearing I was autistic.
You fearing it. Because why?
Because loud sounds bother me.
Okay, loud sounds. Anything else?
I could identify plants in the wild sometimes.
So you have when you were younger, did you have lots of weird lists and preoccupations? And
mainly just mint. I'm like, oh, that's a type of mint. Oh, that's a type of mint too. That's a different type of mint than that one, though.
Mint preoccupations.
There's spearmint. There's peppermint.
Okay, mint. Anything else?
I collected business cards when I was
Business
younger.
card, that's right. That was what got us going. The business card thing got us kind of, I wonder what's going on there.
Right, that's pretty autistic.
And I think I asked you this when we found the business card trait, whether or not, like, when you're in a room with people and the room sort of fills with an emotion like laughter, whether or not you could tell how you got there, or would it sort of surprise you that people are suddenly laughing at something? You know what I'm saying? Was that something that was hard for you when you were younger, particularly?
No.
Don't think laughter so much. That was just an example. But where the room would suddenly, people would be sharing some sort of story, and that story would result in feelings in the room, and you'd be like, you'd get a little confused by that.
No, I was usually pretty good with reading emotions and stuff.
Okay. How about ebbs and flows of groups' emotions? That's where I find it sometimes a little more acute for people to have these tendencies. Like they'll say, I'll be riding on a school bus, and all of a sudden the kids would be talking about something, and they'd all start. Typically, the stories I've heard, they all started laughing, and I couldn't understand why it was funny. Or
like I can't pinpoint exact situations. I mean, I just remember seeing that that Michael Rappaport show, Atypical, where he raises an autistic son.
Yes.
And relating to the autistic son in ways that I can't pinpoint, where like him being confused when he talks to people, is like, oh, I have no idea why they reacted like that.
Okay, that's the kind of stuff
like,
I'm looking for.
Right. So but I related with like that feeling, but I can't pinpoint it to a situation that I had personally.
I get it. And so this might be very mild or maybe not even relevant, right? Not inconsequential. So we decided we'd give him a test. Before we do, I saw like a TikTok or an Instagram from Rappaport where he was on a plane and the plane's almost like it was going to go down or something. Did you see that?
I did not.
I didn't know it was him commenting on something that somebody else had posted.
Right, he does those.
It must have been that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go give Nadav the autism test, a very simple one. It's not super accurate. We're not making a diagnosis here, but we're just kind of curious to what extent he relates to these things that come up on sort of common qualities in people with autistic spectrum. Are you ready?
The autism quiz. Could someone you know have symptoms?
Here we go.
So you should keep in mind that this is phrased in a way that it's third person, saying that you're kind of taking it for the person that you expect having autism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But we're going to give it straight to Nadav, though.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know.
Because it's supposed to be where it's just like, oh, well, if you're taking this quiz, you're going to answer in a way that you think where you won't have autism. So you guys have to answer it for me.
We'll see. We'll do both. Let's do both.
I think Christina took this one on Where My Mom's At.
Yeah, Christina took it.
Oh, and how did she do?
She was almost. She was like 3 points away. From possible, but she's not there.
But I wasn't in the room when they took it, so I have no idea what she answered.
She's just goth. Anyway, here we go. When she was dressed up with Tom the other day, I found it so disturbing. And mostly disturbing because she loved it so much.
That was like her vibe.
I don't know. That's no good.
When she was in high school, everyone was.
She still loves it. I don't like that. I don't like it.
On the inside.
I don't know why I don't like it, but I was very bothered by it.
But you're like, what we do in the shadows, right? You like that?
Yeah, show? I love that.
Those are goths.
Then she had to go full Nadia, full vampire, and to adopt the accent. Then I probably would be in. Her dad's or mom's accent. That'd be cool. All right, here we go. We're going to test when talking to someone, they have a hard time, meaning Nadav has a hard time figuring out what the person is thinking or feeling.
All right, when talking to someone,
you have a hard time. It's sort of what you described, and true both now and when younger. True only when younger. True only now. Never true. And what's interesting about this scale is a lot of people outgrow their autistic qualities. So that's why they're asking about younger only, because I
see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when I was younger I had a harder time, but I think now I have a much easier time figuring out.
But it is both.
Both now and when younger.
I think we've been introduced.
Oh, Siri on that iPad? It's just like, did someone say Nadav's autistic? Let me chime in.
Well, he said, I don't think we've been introduced, Nadav. Okay, we're going to go. We're going to go because we're kind of aware of it now. That's why this came up.
True only when younger.
But we're aware of it now, aren't we, Annie? That he has a little trouble with that now, yeah?
No.
Okay, so when younger. Okay. Okay, you told me you had a little trouble with it. We just were saying that before the test.
No, I said that I identified with the autistic person, but I didn't identify if there was the older or the current self of me.
Got it. All right. Certain textures and fabrics don't bother me. Other people can sometimes bother them or feel offensive on their. Okay. So to Nadav, it can bother you or feel offensive on your skin.
For specific textures and fabrics.
Textures, yeah.
I don't think I ever had a problem with this.
Okay, never true.
You don't care about that, like everyone has that sock thing, where you put a sock on and it has the seam at the end. That doesn't bug you?
Doesn't bother me.
The seam at the end?
Yeah.
No, I only hate it when I step and it accidentally hooks under my heel, and now I just have a bare heel.
I used to. I remember when I was younger, there were fabrics, things that used to give me the creeps, but I don't have that anymore. Do you have anything like that?
Maybe like the fabric that your grandpa's suits were made out of that were like sandpaper.
But it has to not bother other people.
Right.
So we'll say
I've never really had a
okay.
problem with that.
Nadav has trouble with others in group activities. So, and if so, what?
I feel like depending how big the group is, I'm either very quiet or I'm contributing a lot, but there's not really like in between.
And was it worse when you were younger?
Probably annoyingly so, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is sort of, you learn to manage that, and this is how you do it now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give now and younger, right? Both. We're going to give it a little both.
That was a little true only when younger.
It was...
Because I couldn't regulate when I was younger.
You had trouble when you were younger, even though it is still true now. It doesn't bother you now.
Man, those first two questions really amped up my... I really thought I was going to ace this, but now I'm having a little trouble with it. All right, true. Both now. And
both.
younger.
Okay, good.
Fine,
both.
Fine.
Okay, next question.
Nadav has a hard time figuring out what others expect of them.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Did you when you were younger?
No.
Like your parents would ask you to do stuff, and you'd get sort of, if you didn't do it or did something different, it wouldn't.
Nah, I'd never be confused. There was always a clear line where I'm like, oh, I fucked up because I didn't do what they said.
Okay, never.
Never true. Fuck.
Gotta
That's
never.
The first time we hit that one.
That's right. When Nadav is hanging out socially, you don't know how to act. You feel awkward, and this is the group thing again.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same as the other question.
So we said both. So we'll say both again.
True
it's mild.
when younger. We said true when younger.
No, you finally went to both. All right, I'll give you true on younger on this one. Okay, younger when this one. And how would that manifest when you were younger?
We'll split the diff.
Because a lot of younger kids have this. I mean,
I don't know. I think it was just trying to acclimate to social settings where, you know.
Was it hard for you?
I think it was almost like I saw someone who was just like, man, they're way more advanced than I am in this social stuff.
Okay, so you admired other people that could navigate. Okay, got it. And you were trying to learn how to do it, which is interesting. That it didn't come naturally. You had to sort of study it cognitively. That's interesting.
I like that.
That's interesting. No problem with social interactions.
Yeah, I would say that is true.
True, you have no problem.
Yeah, I have no problem with social interactions.
And younger also?
I think so, yeah. Like, I mean, one-on-one, definitely, but you put me in a huge group, and it's a real coin flip, I guess, according to previous questions.
So what are we saying? What is the answer to this?
Look, I don't know, man. This is difficult. I think you guys are supposed to answer for me, I think.
What do you say, Annie?
That he has no problem with social interaction. I mean, I didn't know him when he was a kid, but now definitely not.
Not, okay. So no problem, true both now and younger. Okay, both. Okay. And then sometimes he gets overwhelmed by senses, sight, sounds. You said that, right? And that's both younger and older?
Hold on, sorry. Sometimes when they get overwhelmed by
You
senses,
said you don't like
sounds.
loud sounds, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you go in a quiet room to calm yourself down?
No, I just very quietly and not condescendingly, but I'm like, hey man, can we turn this down a little bit?
All right, not condescendingly. Interesting.
I try and spare feelings.
Okay.
When really, it's really just my own feelings, right?
Well, I don't know. It's just interesting.
Well, because it's like, you know, when you're in a place where someone likes playing loud music, I don't want to be the asshole that's like, hey man, I know you're really having a good time listening to this loud music.
Okay.
He means my house, by the way.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've been there.
He listens to it so loud, though.
I know. Yeah, he does. We spent a lot of time there. In fact, I sort of missed it. You know, anyway, when I was coming out through this show today, I was like, God, remember the good old days when we'd sit around Andy's house and play pool and do hot sauce in the bathroom and
do hot sauce.
Well, we do hot sauce videos
in the
bathroom.
What is that code for?
do crazy videos in the bathroom. Speaking of which, a break from the test for a second. So what would we call that video that you had me do where I converted that kid?
I mean, it was just a trend.
It was
like a real TikTok trend.
Okay. Have you seen the stuff that Lauren Compton does that way with the sort of transforming into, like, you know, different people and
she's
things?
big on the talk, yeah.
Oh, I've seen what she does. Yeah.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. How involved is that? You had to walk me through the little thing that we did. I saw her thing. I'm like, shit, that must take a week. All the makeup and costumes and editing and stuff. No?
I mean, she's been doing it a long time.
She knows what she's doing.
Professional.
Okay.
She gets with it quick.
All right. So somebody's not doing that for her. She does it herself.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah. She's an artist.
Extraordinary. Okay, so that's both. Okay, next.
Wait, sometimes I want.
That's the quiet room thing again.
Right, yeah. Well, no, wait, but I don't have to go to a quiet room. Like, I don't leave the room. I just politely ask for Annie to stop playing drums so loudly in front of me.
To be fair, you've definitely left the room before.
Yeah. See, we get.
I don't know about collecting your thoughts, but
it's all right. He just needs to get away from it. Which is
one time I was just lightly tapping on Annie's drum set, and I heard from like 3 rooms over, "Please don't."
Yeah.
So true, both now and
Yes,
when
both.
younger. It looks like. I'm glad you guys are here to help me with these questions.
That's
because
the
there's
way
no
this thing
way
is.
I would have done it.
That's the
truthfully.
way this is designed.
No, God.
Okay, prefers to be alone instead of out in
I
social.
thought this was gonna be fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, for you guys though.
Prefers to be alone instead of out in social situations.
They prefer to be alone instead of being out in social situations.
What would you say? Collecting business cards. Seems like a solo activity.
It's kind of a coin flip because I feel like I have social anxiety sometimes where it's if
And-
I'm presented with an opportunity to go outside or to like go hang out with people, my first inclination is like kind of want to just have a chill night at home.
Okay,
but
how about when you were younger?
But whenever I go out, I always love it.
I understand, but would prefer, have a preference. You're sort of expressing that preference.
And here's something I would add too. I mean, you said a phrase to me when COVID first hit. Remember we were talking about like, oh man, we might need to fucking be inside for like a month or 2 months or whatever. You made like, you don't ever bet me anything anymore because I always win.
Yeah.
I always take bets that I'm only going to win. But
Right.
you were like, yeah, I'll make you a bet that I could stay inside without carrying the longest. Like I could
Both
be inside
younger and older, yes.
for the next year, and it won't bother me.
All right, I'm glad you're here, Annie. Good, both.
I'm just saying.
When talking,
It's usually phrased differently in my head.
yeah,
That
I imagine that.
I'm relying on myself for my own happiness.
Yes, I'm good.
God, that's the set.
When Nadav is talking or talking to someone else, they have a hard time figuring out when it's time to speak or to listen. So does the back and forth of a conversation get a little choppy for you? Do you sometimes do you find you're talking over other people? Do you find that you don't know?
That was so ironic. That was so ironic.
Because
He literally interrupts you to be like, wait, I'm not understanding. What'd you say?
Because I was caught up on the last question, and I was just like, wait, we're already at the end of the next one. I didn't even hear the first
that
part
actually
of it.
isn't irony. That's just factual. That's just
Right.
evidenciary
That's not
evidence.
ironic, Annie. It's just autistic.
It just is so. Yeah, it is just Nadav. I think we're putting Nadav's picture at the top of this test. No. So the question was, when you were younger, also, did you have difficulty? Would you talk over people and into people? And the question is it now or both?
I think I do have a hard time.
Both.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Next.
I do try and be
Okay.
self-conscious
Okay.
about it. I'm trying to improve.
If I'm vacuuming or Annie's vacuuming and people are talking too loud, they cover their ears to block out noises. Did you ever used to cover your ears when you were younger to block out noises?
No.
No. It's kind of a weird. I had hyperacusis. I had really sensitive hearing when I was a kid, and I remember when I was like watching, like even guitar performances and stuff, like musical performances, I'd have to leave the room, and my parents got angry with me. But it actually hurt, and it wasn't overstimulating. It was just like no. It's anyway. So that's going to be a never.
I had a thing like that too when I was a kid. One of the first concerts that my dad had ever took the family to. It was, but in my defense, it was a really weird new age. Like it was into the weird new age bullshit.
Yeah.
And the guy had 8 keyboards with whale sounds and bird sounds
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit like that. Like I was not into it. So I was just trying to sleep, and plugging my ears and stuff. And then I remember being nudged awake saying, the artist could see you sleeping, trying to do that. So then I was
What did your
escorted out
dad
of
do
the
for a
building.
living?
He was a jeweler.
Oh, shocking. And your mom, was she a professional too, or was she a?
No, she was a stay-at-home mom, but then she did some work later in life, just marble countertop.
And so
stuff.
why do the Jews have such a lock on the jewelry? I get the shmata thing, but
We like the valuables.
is it that?
I think it has something
Okay.
to do with it.
All right. So, there we go.
Can't spell jewel.
Oh, wow.
Without what?
Hard for Nadav to read someone else's facial expressions and body language while talking.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Hard for Nadav.
Wait, hold on. I didn't answer the I didn't answer the
I'm
vacuum
giving
one yet.
I'm giving you a never on that.
Wait, never on the vacuum thing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
It's hard for me to read someone's facial expressions and body language when they're talking to them. You know what? Like, I would attribute this like when it's someone of the same sex, I feel like I could always read them pretty well. But if it's someone of the opposite sex, I could never. I'm like, are we being friendly or is this flirting?
Queef?
What?
He said, are we?
Oh, I heard like you said queef. Are we being? It's like, dude, we need to
she's
educate you.
queefing in my face. I can't tell if she likes
Oh my god.
Is she queefing on me? Is she just like me?
No, I
What's
thought
going
he was
on?
using queef as like some sort of greeting, some sort of queef. Are you okay about with how I'm speaking to
God,
you?
I didn't think I'd
Okay,
regret
now
taking
how about when
this
you were
so
younger?
much.
How
What?
about when you were younger?
Probably a little bit more when I was younger. Like, I'm
Okay, so
definitely
we're
better
We're
at
giving that
it
a
now.
both. Okay,
Yeah.
we're giving that a both. And then
well, hold
detail.
on, though, because what he's talking about with women is different, though, right? Like, I feel like
It's like
with
missing
dudes,
signals and stuff.
yeah, like that's a girl, like that's a game thing, you know. Like when it comes to, I've never felt like you don't understand body language around here anyway. That doesn't, doesn't
Okay. All right. So
feel
we'll give
like
it a
that.
younger only. If true and younger only.
Thank you, Annie.
Okay.
Trying to be objective.
All right. All right. Yeah.
Trying to be a friend, and it's
more
working.
focus on small details than big picture. Business cards.
Tend to focus more on small details.
So the question is, how about now?
True only when younger. True only when younger.
Is that true, or is there? Any?
on small details?
Can he not get the big picture? He sort of loses
No.
the big picture. for the
Nah,
small
no
detail.
way.
I feel it's the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm more big picture than small details.
He's super big picture. for
Okay,
sure.
so when younger. Okay, good. Times Nadav.
They take someone says
Too
too
literally.
literally often miss.
Yes.
Oh,
Too literal.
I don't think I've had that problem.
I feel like I've had that problem with you.
Like what?
It's not in the comedy realm. It's sort of more in the like in common discourse. I this is sort of an instinct I have. I wasn't aware of this till I just read this test. But I may be musing about something like, I wonder if we should do this, do that. And you'll just go, okay, it's done. And I'm not sure if that's the same thing or not.
Right. Like, well,
Is
I mean,
that
if we're-
just anxiety, or is that
No,
the-
no. I think if we're pitching ideas to each other and you pitch an idea that I like I'm like,
You run
okay,
to
cool.
it.
Yeah, both
All right.
parties are into it. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll give you a never. Okay. All right. Suddenly have to do things a new way, get really upset. Like if you have a way of doing things and he says, no, we're doing it this way, or Chris comes in and tells you, no, sorry, it's disturbing to you. You have your way or the highway.
I feel like stuff like that has thrown me for a loop before, but I've never put my foot down and being like, no,
Okay.
we're doing this the way that
So
I
when you
want
were
it.
younger,
I cannot believe you're saying that.
because I feel like he's that way too.
You are so much
Yeah,
very routine based. Come
Yeah.
on, man. You do things exactly the way that they've
Okay.
been done.
We're gonna give you a both.
to a T though. Like you're very good at it because of that.
Yeah,
You know
we're
what
gonna
I'm
give
saying?
you a both.
I don't know about as a kid, but definitely now.
We're gonna give you a
You look
both.
so defeated.
Come on, man. Come on. That's for sure. We've had like arguments about it.
Like I've
specifically.
tried to educate everybody here a million times.
You know what it is, though? It's the get really upset part that I think threw me off.
That's because you never get out of your own way of doing things, because you would get upset if somebody threw you out. So
God,
so
this
he,
is not going my way.
it's
at all.
fine. But remember, I've educated you guys on this a million times. None of these things are strict liabilities. They come with assets. Annie is telling you this is an asset you have. It's a good thing that you have that could be troubling, can also be an asset. Okay.
Yeah, I think it makes you great at your job. That's
Yeah.
that's actually something I've always admired because your scheduling is like fucking. It's like
Yeah.
peak. Like it never fucks up, and my scheduling always fucks up. So I've looked at that in the past. And I'm like, how does he fucking do that?
Well, and let me
I'm
and
autistic.
let me
I'm really good at
and think about and think about how many times I've tried to do things and you've gone, producers will do the producing or something like that, or there's a producing team here or something like that.
Yep.
You've said that to me 100 times, and that is me suggesting my way and you telling me no, it's my way.
It's all about managing expectations. That's half the gig.
Okay. Prefer routine, have a hard time with change, and may seem inflexible. We're going to give you both on that one, too.
Wait, what was
Annie
it?
and I are
Hold on.
both giving you
they
both.
prefer routine, have a
It's
hard
the same
time.
thing as the other
I
one.
definitely prefer routine.
Yeah, it's the same
all
thing as the
right,
other one.
for sure.
Strong interest in certain topics, often want to talk about it, have difficulty talking about anything else. Now, I do not experience you that way now.
Likewise.
But I'm imagining when you were talking about business cards, that was insufferable. I'm guessing.
I never talked about that out loud with anybody.
Okay.
Except for the maitre d' at the restaurant. It's like, hey, you got any more spare business cards up there that I could take?
So you would have strong interest, but you wouldn't share it.
Right. I don't think I'd ever ask them like, hey, do you like XYZ? Because I do. I think you wait for them to say it, and you're like, oh my God, let me unload on you.
Well, and then would people get kind of like, okay, all right, okay, already. Did you see what
I've never picked up on that.
You seen right? That's the problem. Did you see the latest what we do in the shadow when Colin Robinson is going? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? To the vampire. You've seen the latest what we did the last couple episodes?
No. I've only I just started it like not too long ago. I'm only on like season 1 or 2.
Oh my God! Do you watch it, Eddie? You don't watch it, do you?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What
are
we
you
do in the
talking about?
shadows?
What we do in the shadows.
It's Christina's favorite show. It's about vampires.
It's like a comedy vampire.
But it's
show.
comedy.
It's fun. It's
seriously
fun.
comedy.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. It's fucking awesome. Well, anyway, when you get into the 3rd season, I don't want to give all this away to you, but one of the characters has this trait, and he's always like, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? And he's talking about Lego and about Legos and things. And so I'm just imagining you might have had a whiff of that when you were younger.
Nah, I don't think.
All right, never.
I wasn't that.
We'll give you a number.
Legos are hella dope though.
And I do fucking love Legos.
Rocking, moving your hands in a repetitive way, that kind of thing.
Well, hold on. Backtrack. They do this architecture series now where it's for adults now too.
Lego.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't even. Do you?
Oh, I just did the thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
You're not helping your case.
Yeah.
We're on the next question now.
I just imagine that experience when you're younger. Guess
You
what?
guys are going
Guess
too
what?
fast.
Guess
I wanna
what? They're doing an
experience.
architecture thing, and there's a competition on Fox.
Dude, I have like two Frank Gehry architect. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. Rocking, moving your hands repetitively. Was that ever a behavior?
Rock back and forth movement. No,
Never?
not really. I don't self-soothe that way.
Gosh, one of the things personally, when my kids were born, it was very, very intense. I was in the operating room, and the anesthesiologist looks over at me and goes, "What does that feel like?" And I realized I was just rocking. I was rocking in the chair. I was like, "Holy shit, it's intense."
You know what I do? I like if I ever get worked up, I pace, but I feel like that's not.
We'll give you a never for that.
Yeah, if someone looks at that, they're not like, "Boy, that's pretty."
Nah, we'll give you a never. As a child, lined toys up, played with objects in the same way over and over again, right?
Nah, it was pretty messy.
All right, never. Even those business cards, huh? You didn't have them
I
carefully
didn't play
organized?
with. Hey, those weren't for play; those were for function.
What were the functions?
In case I ever needed to call a business, I could thumb through all my business cards.
Did you ever help anybody else out with that function?
Never. The function never came.
How
But I
come-
was prepared for it.
Annie, help me with this. How can we how can we not say that he sort of had things lined up a certain way when he was younger?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't. I guess
It's not
business
It's not
cards? I don't
ritualistic,
know.
at least. It's not ritualistic.
They
All
weren't
right.
alphabetical.
All
They
right,
weren't in
we'll give it a
any
never.
order or
All right,
anything.
all right, you got it. And repeat same words or phrases over and over. Repeat phrases of others. Get it on.
Yeah.
There's no repetitive phrases at your mom's house. No one ever repeats.
No, but like sayings and stuff.
Yeah, like touch my camera to the fence. Hey, Hitler. You
No,
never.
I mean, like, no, not like YMH phrases. Like, I don't use those in everyday conversations.
Okay.
But like, oh, that juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like, just like
All
little
right.
like sayings and stuff like that.
You
have
do
fun
use
here.
them. He does use them or doesn't
We
use
do
them?
have fun.
We have fun here. I think I've heard him say that like at least, I don't know, 20 million times.
All right, so we're
Like
giving that a
something-
yes.
yeah.
And so how about when you were younger?
Probably. But I think for the most part, whenever I'd say it, it was like it's always trying to prompt a laugh. You know, like it's like I'm always trying to make someone laugh when I say those things. They just don't always land.
Both.
Okay.
We're giving you both on that one. All right. Let's get the results here.
Do we want to take a guess at what it might be?
How he ranks?
Yeah.
Completely autistic.
No, I'm going to say he's got to be further up than Christina.
She was only 3 points away.
Yeah, so you've got to be in the zone. But I'm going to say sort of weakly in the zone. What do we got? No autism. Asperger's likely.
Nah, God
which
damn
is
it.
which is autistic spectrum.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's what Christina got as well.
She got.
I think it's no. I think it's that it's neither of those likely. I think
She got neither likely. Yeah, he got Asperger's likely.
no. I think that means no autism or Asperger's likely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got 28 to 42. Do you remember what she got?
I feel like she got 28. I feel like it.
the same thing.
I feel like she did.
Wait, which includes what used to be called Asperger's IC, now considered a type of autism. It's only a screening measure, cannot make a definitive diagnosis. Okay.
Oh, here's the scoring.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
I'm fucking 1 away.
Christina was
mind.
what, 3 away?
Yeah, she was. I feel like 3, if I remember
Well,
right.
I gotta
might be
say,
wrong.
when they brought up the possibility you had it, I was like, no, come on. And then I started thinking, oh, maybe. So there, it fits with my experience of you. It fits.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, you did collect business cards, but you didn't rock and do repetitive hand motions.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were
Yeah,
just
I was
sort of
well socialized.
you figure shit out. And if anything, whatever you had, and this is kind of an interesting area, whatever you had, you kind of grew out of by paying attention and being motivated and having some social awareness, right? And that's what most kids do. It's just some have more of a burden to get through that than others. That's all.
Right. I was motivated by the responses that I got. So if I did something, I'm like, oh, that was not the response that I wanted. I'm like, oh, I need to tweak
Maybe we had
something.
to get the narcissism scale back, Andy. I think maybe that was more the whole way. He's like, well, maybe no for him.
What for
him?
Nadav?
For Nadav, more than
If I'm
narcissism.
narcissistic? I don't know,
think
man.
so.
No,
I
okay.
hate myself pretty good.
Doesn't
Yeah, you
strike
can. But
me as
narcissism at
narcissistic.
its core is a self-loathing.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like opposite.
It's a self-preoccupation. One of the reasons that narcissists are so self-preoccupied is because they're in pain all the time. And when you're in pain, it's hard not to be thinking about yourself.
We're not taking that now. I can't
no,
deal with
we've
these
done
back-to-back
We've
test
done enough.
results that just don't go in my favor.
No, I need to talk about I need to talk about multiple orgasmic cum dump with pancreatic divisium.
Take it away, Drew.
I'm one of these elusive, hypersexual, multi-orgasmic ladies. Okay. I have upwards of 40 orgasms in every sexy time session, both penetration and clitoral stimulation. I love everything. Spit on me, beat me, literally, please. That's not all, though. At 20, I'm now about 26, I began to experience chronic idiopathic pancreatitis. Interesting. After years of over suffering, hospitalization, massive weight loss, I finally found a doctor who diagnosed me with pancreatic divisium, which is after my ERCP. I had several stents placed, going up in every size until eventually it was removed, and I haven't had one bout of pancreatitis since. So she had a small or a spastic pancreatic duct, right? Pancreas is the big organ right in the middle of your gastrointestinal system. It produces insulin. It has an endocrine function and an exocrine function. It produces insulin and glucagon and cholecystokinin and all these very important bunch of enzymes for digestion. And it spills those enzymes into the duodenum through the pancreatic duct, and the pancreatic duct joins with the common bile duct, and you can have narrowing. You can have a problem with how those ducts function. And they went up into they went actually into the small bowel, put a stent, a tube into the pancreatic duct to open it up, and they worked. Here's my question. Why did the 3 doctors I saw the first time write me off and say, we don't know why you have chronic pancreatitis? There's nothing more we can do. My final doctor said he knew immediately. Are they stupid? Did they not take time to Google? Are they lazy? Anywhere you better become up to me. So, this is actually a really great question from this multi-orgasmic cum dump, as she refers to herself. I want her to feel comfortable when I answer this question. That's how she talks about herself. Is that it's not that doctors are lazy. This is going to sound even worse. It's that they don't think. They don't think. And this is a really serious problem. And I used to train doctors. I did a lot of teaching, and I was seeing a lot of this, and I think it's worse these days. They don't have the time they either instinctively know what's going on, or they know kind of where to look to figure it out, which is usually already they're in trouble if they're having to look things up. But they instinctively know what's going on, or they don't. And they don't sit and think about it. And they don't want to think any further about it because the system they're in won't let them. So in an ideal world, let's say I didn't know what was going on. I would first get consultation. And if the consultation didn't give us an answer, I would say, let's keep thinking about this. Let me see you again in 3 weeks. Let me see how this thing is evolving. Let me see if there are any other hints here. Let me look around for other clues. Maybe there's somewhere else we can go. It is that both the caring to keep following and have a investment in you as a patient, and it's sort of a stamina or a motivation to kind of think hard about what's going on with you. And it's not happening so much anymore. It just really isn't. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's unfortunately my profession right now. We got some videos I want to get back to. Give me one more voice message just to kind of clear my palate a little bit, and then we'll do some videos.
All right, we do need to wrap up here in a second.
All right, give me a voicemail, and then we'll do 2 videos.
I also have one question real quick.
Yeah.
Just curious, wouldn't it be impossible for an autistic person to properly evaluate themselves on the topic of autism? Wouldn't it be basically impossible to take a test?
Your point is well taken. Essentially, but your point is, can we be objective about ourselves ever? Is really in that question. Right. So if you already have deficiencies in your ability to evaluate things like emotions and your reactions and how people should or shouldn't react, yes, it's going to be extra hard for you. But almost every mental condition carries blind spots. That's why they happen, because people kind of don't see how they're just in it, and to step outside of themselves. And really the most serious problem is not something like autism. It's really personality disorders. And true personality disorders can't step out of themselves and see everything as externalized. All the problem is out there, not in here. When, of course, the only thing we can change, the only thing we have control over, the only thing that really does create the circumstances of our life, I mean, some of it's outside, but a lot of it is in here. And so, yeah, if you can only consider out there as the problem, it makes for not a fun time.
So a narcissist would probably say stuff like, yeah, I have no problem with social issue or social
no problem with
anxiety.
anything, but my wife's a bitch, or my kids are a pain in the or my partners, they're terrible. And it's usually, of course, focused on other people. But and it can go actually as far as something called anosognosia. Have I ever talked about anosognosia here?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, which is actually a neurological block. And so people with serious mental illness, with schizophrenia, with bipolar disorder, with addiction, literally can't see not only insight into what their piece is, they literally can't even see what's happening to them. That's how they end up on the street. I'm leading my life. Well, what's the problem? I'm where's my heroin? They just cannot process what is happening. They can only think about the next hit or whatever it is. All right, let's see a voicemail first. I want a voice message before I finish up.
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Thank you for a woman.
It's Emmy
Hi,
from
Emmy.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Toronto, she
I
said.
have a question about, I guess, buttholes. So my question is, when you wipe and it's like your butt gets kind of chapped a little bit or like too much friction, I heard that your lip skin and your asshole skin is the same. So would it be soothing if I put lip balm on my asshole?
Quite a question.
So let me know. Love the show. Love you guys. Love the Booth Boys. Everybody. All right. Thanks. Bye.
See, when I talk about our female listeners just being more satisfying somehow, listen to the thought process that went into that.
Yeah. Should I put chapstick in my ass?
My asshole lips are bothering me. But I mean, you could also, I guess, include vaginal lips in that, and they are all slightly different. In fact, you can kind of, under the microscope, you can kind of see the difference in these different things. But they're similar. I get your point. The answer is, I really don't know. I'm suspecting it doesn't do as much for you. Point being that they're businesses that develop, pads and ointments and things for that area, and it doesn't include the same thing as what you put on your lips. And most of the things, and the lip balm is sort of an ointment, really at its core, and the stuff we put on our asshole tends to be more creams. So I'm going to suggest it's a little bit different, but I appreciate your pronunciation of butthole. Fantastic, made my weekend. And your thoughtfulness about your own asshole. It's really quite elevating. But what caught my attention, I said it when she said it, she said Toronto. People who live in Toronto don't say Toronto, they say Toronto. So I wonder they say Toronto. So I wonder where she's actually from.
Guess she's a fucking poser, huh?
Posing. She's pretending to be from Toronto, but she's not.
Fucking bitch.
All right, let's watch some videos.
Get her out of here.
She was great. She was great. Topless, toeless
No,
at
no, no.
Walmart.
Here, I'm going to show you this. This is going to be the last one that we end up because we do need to wrap up.
Okay. Show me.
Pussy.
Do what?
I never had no pussy.
No.
No?
Hell yeah. You gonna get some?
Yeah?
All right.
Okay. I'll see you there, right?
Later, bro.
He just walked up and said, I never had no pussy.
And then he was going to go get some.
That is, well, it's interesting because that is anosognosia, everybody. Anosognosia is he has no sense that that's inappropriate or, it just makes perfect sense to him in that moment. Let's see it one more time. Just because he's so cute.
Pussy.
Do what?
I never had no pussy.
No.
No?
Hell yeah. You gonna get some?
Yeah?
All right.
Okay. I'll see you there, right?
Later, bro.
So that's probably schizophrenia. That's what that is. So good times.
That's fun.
It is fun. And appreciate sharing. Well, give me one more video. Come on now. You're withholding from me.
Come on.
Come on.
We
They're so
really
short.
do. No,
You got a TikTok? A TikTok
we
at least?
We really got to wrap up.
Damn
We
it.
really
Too
gotta
much
wrap
fun with
up,
you
buddy.
guys. Appreciate spending time with you. Thank you all for spending time with us. Booth Boys for sharing their personal material with us and being willing to play along. It's interesting. And again, I want to reinforce any of these things that we're talking about, testing for, that we all have something about us that we can be putting on spectrums of human brain function, frankly, and human behavior. We all sit on a spectrum of different things, and each of those spectrum carries assets and liabilities. Like I always say, alcoholics have a big liability that comes with them if they activate the disease of alcoholism. If they don't, they're great survivors. They make great extreme athletes. They're extraordinary. And so that is the asset that comes with this liability that they have to manage sometimes. So it's true of just if we mentioned narcissism today. If you're a fighter pilot, I'd like that person to be a narcissist. I want them to feel like they're invincible and that nobody else can assail them. And I don't want them to have anxiety. I want them to be focused and feel invincible. Good. It's an asset in certain circumstances. So with that having been said, 818-253-1693 for more voice messages. And of course, the emails, which have been great this week. DrDrewAfterDark@gmail.com. And don't forget merch at
store.ymhstudios.com.
Store.ymhstudios.com. Are we selling my bobblehead at the YMH store?
I think that's on your store.
That is DrDrew.com store.drdrew.com or something like that.
DrDrew.com/shop.
Shop. That's what it is. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Gotcha.
Thank you for keeping me honest here and looking out for me. I'll put the bobblehead up maybe next time so you guys can see that. But Susan, it's her project. She's very excited that people should get the bobblehead. I am excited that we all have the Rational Revolution cups because I'm still waiting for the Rational Revolution, but it seems to be more upon us than it has for a long time. I need to thump Christina about that and ask her why it's taken so long. All right, everybody, we'll see you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.